Nico, ulikuwa wapi? Nico, sikame, never ever give up. Sikame, never ever give up. Mungu will bless our ways. Mungu will bless our ways. Nico, 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 handsome man, Nico, Nico, Nico. Sikame, never ever give up. Sikame, never ever give up. Our Lord God will bless our ways. Our Lord God will bless our ways. Nico, handsome man.
Hi everyone. I'm seeing people are not joined us yet. Hi Alice.
Hi,
You're right.
how are you?
I'm good. Let me see what I can tag our friends. Guys, we are live again. If you're on, say hello, then we'll get on with it. Just say hello, then we know we have somebody there, and then we can just start. We never waste time. We just go on. So, hi guys, welcome. We are live now. You're live now. I'll tag a few of you, then we get on with that. And well, after I tag you, tag somebody else as well. We don't want
Yeah,
people to
let me
miss
do the
it.
same on my end.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's tag each other so that we don't miss. Today we're going to share very nice, useful stuff. So it will be nice for guys to make it today.
Yeah.
So welcome. I'm not seeing anybody on yet, so let's give it to some time. Say hello, guys. What I'll do, I'll put some music on. Should I choose something else or just the usual? Let's see what that is.
I have an idea. Nicole.
Yeah, go on. Let me stop
I am
that. Yeah.
thinking just to help guys keep time. Is it
Mm.
possible for us to start and then for them to come and pick it up from where we shall be?
Yeah, sometimes we normally do that. So we could do that. Let's give somebody time to just say hello. One quick person to say hello, and then yeah, we have one
Okay.
person. Do say hello, and then we just start. We don't want to waste any time before some drama start, internet drama, whatever it is. We don't before they all start. Let me tell you a story about the plumber. For those who've not heard the story, I did share it in one of my posts this week, and I thought let me share it in the live as well. Yeah, the story about the plumber, it's a story that people know of. It's a joke, a story, or whatever people know of, but it's very useful to remind ourselves about it time and time again. So, let me say a client called a plumber, and the plumber came, and all he did was bang some pipes. And when it was finished, it was like $100. And the guy was like, $100 for just banging the pipes? The guy was like, no. The plumber was like, no, it's £5 for banging the pipe, but it's $95 rather. I'm a pound person, but it's $95 knowing where to bang. So guys, we need to stay relevant. We need to learn and learn and learn. And when you charge people, people will be like, why are you charging that much? I'm charging you that for knowing, for giving that useful information to help you. Otherwise, this is Success Your Way Movement, your platform. I'm Nicole Hanselman, and I've got our guest Alice, who will introduce herself in full. I'll let her do that. Welcome. Say hello to us. If you have any questions, do ask. But today we'll talk about self-discovery. Alice will tell us what it is, steps towards it, what are some of the things we need to know about it. So if you have any questions, do ask. We learn together. It's always good to learn. And this platform allows us that, so that you be like the plumber, know where to bang. Anyway, Alice, introduce yourself to us, my dear. Welcome, my lovely. Welcome. Hello, Zara. Welcome. Karibu sana. Tag your friends, dear. Do us that little favor. Thank you. Welcome, Zara. Welcome. Alex, gone and introduce yourself.
Thank you. And thank you so much for this invite. It's always a pleasure to come back and share. You're an amazing host. Thank you so much for this. For those who maybe we haven't met, my name is Alice, the Conscious Life Coach, and I help both men and women navigate life's challenges and get to know themselves on a deeper level so that they can be able to realize their potential. And once again, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here and share on one of my favorite topics.
Welcome, my dear. Welcome. I'd already put myself on mute so that I just start learning. Yeah, you've been on our platform lots before. Any amazing thing you've done during that time? Anything we need to know? I know one little amazing thing you've done. You have your own page and group or something. Go on and tell us all the amazing things you've been doing.
Thank you. I have been up to a lot, but the major one that I would love to share with you guys today is this one. I don't know whether you can see.
Oh my God.
I finally
we want to see it. Put it in the middle. Put it in the middle so that you see.
Can you see it?
21 days to self-awareness workbook, and it's a workbook. How amazing is that?
Yes.
How much?
Oh, it's going for 1,000 bob.
Tao, guys. Whoa, I don't want to reveal anything, but I don't want to commit yet. But I have a feeling somebody will be getting a gift soon. Yeah, guys, we have a book on here with on Alice. Congratulations, there.
Thank you so much. It's been an amazing journey. This book is a culmination of my own journey, my own self-discovery process. So when you mentioned, how about you do something on self-discovery? I was like, please.
The universe. See how things work.
Yeah, I thought it was so aligned. I was like, please, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, and it would be nice because you can give us some nuggets about your book here and there. Yeah, to encourage us even more into buying it, getting it for ourselves. It's one of those little investments that we need to make. Sometimes we forget that those little things do help us, do change us. So amazing. So okay, go on. Tell us what's self-discovery.
I love how you started, with the plumber story. And it's amazing because if you asked most people, if you are the plumber, what would you tap into? We wouldn't be able to tell you, by the way, this is what my gifts and talents are, and this is how I'm using them. And I'm loving this topic because that's exactly what self-discovery is.
Yeah,
and just simply put, in layman's language, it's just getting to understand and know yourself better. It's a process. It's not something utachukua hii kitabu, you just work on it and say, now I'm self-aware, now I've discovered, and that's it. It's a process and a conscious process. Let me add that.
A conscious process.
Meaning, exactly. Meaning you're intentional about getting to know yourself better. You're intentional about the process of gaining more knowledge about yourself. And every time I'm talking about self-discovery, I always add, the way maybe when you're meeting your love, or when someone is meeting their hubby, or they're meeting their new boyfriend or girlfriend, the way we're usually so fascinated with the other person, we want to know what makes them tick, we want to learn, we're so fascinated with them. So it's the same thing with self-discovery. Take that time to get to understand yourself better. In fact, I love this phrase by, I think, Socrates: know yourself, know thyself, grow thyself. You cannot grow what you don't. Exactly. You cannot grow what you don't know. And the way I look at it, it sounds obvious, self-discovery. What is there to discover? As in, I've been with myself for the last 40 years, right? It sounds like, and that's the reason why we are not intentional. We don't put effort, because
Yeah.
we think ni obvious, sinajijua ni nini sijui.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't blame us. I don't blame the fact that, we do not take time to really dig deeper, because the way I look at it, we were not taught. We spent like what, almost more than half our years from age 4 mpaka what, 25 in
Yeah.
school. Literally half of our first life is spent in school. We
Yeah.
went to school, learned about the longest river. We learned
Mm.
about sijui Bunsen burner parts. We
Mhm.
learned about sijui mole concept. You remember those things?
I know,
But
and you know what? You're spending all that time in and all this concept and other people's ideas or other people's things. It's not your own. They're not really your own. So when you grow up, you think you really know yourself, but you don't. Like for instance, if you went to a school that doesn't have maybe sciences, you won't do sciences. You'll never know whether you're good at sciences. You'll
exactly,
never. Maybe your school, because it's a girls' school, then they assume nobody will ever want to do physics, so they don't have physics
yeah,
in your school.
yeah,
So the other
yeah,
subjects are compulsory. So you always think that you
yeah.
know yourself, but it's your environment that influenced you. And before we even go further, like the plumber thing, and I was yesterday's year old when I was still also calling it plumber, and my son was, no, mom, it's not plumber, it's plumber. I was like, no, I'm sure it's plumber. I'm African, we pronounce every letter in the word. And it's so funny, So we
Yeah.
are a lot of things. We are a lot of
Mm,
things, but without self-discovery, you don't know what you are authentically are, what you are really meant to be.
yeah,
Two people
yeah.
from different environment.
Mm-hmm.
You just because you grew up in Africa doesn't necessarily mean that there's some things that cultural thing
Mm,
that you really have
mm.
to follow. Maybe there's some things that if you open your eyes, will disagree with. I'm not saying African culture is bad, but I'm just trying to say that these things influence us into who we are.
Yeah.
So go on, my dear. Sorry for interrupting you. I just find it
No, no,
interesting that
no. And
yeah.
you're so in line. You're so
Mm,
in line with what I'm talking about. Yeah. If
mm-hmm,
you are not in that place where you're exposed to, okay, let me get to know myself more, you will
mm,
never take, you will never take that time to understand. And that is what school taught us. We went to school, the way I look at it, it's like we went to school to become good workers.
mm,
We rarely ever were told this is how the mind works. We rarely ever were told this is the power of your thought. We
mm,
rarely ever had the time to learn this is how you relate with others.
mm-hmm,
Communication skills. We've had this is how you manage emotions. This is the
mm.
impact of your, Akuna, in fact, the only things I can remember is methali. Sijui asiyesikia la mkuu huvunjika guu. That one you're meant
Good.
to know.
We were so good at it. Ngeli ya sijui nini na ngeli. Oh my goodness me.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
But how we are relating that to our personal lives, unfortunately, we didn't
Mm,
we didn't have that. We didn't have that, and that's why for most of us, we have assumed so many things. Yeah,
mm,
we rarely get to sit down and be intentional to find out the unconscious behaviors, why we do the
mm,
things that we do, why we think the way that we think. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
as I was just opening my laptop. Yeah, I was just
mm-hmm,
thinking about how when I'm brushing my teeth. Yeah, I
mm,
don't think about, okay, I'm gonna take the toothbrush this way, then
mm-mm,
to do 50 degrees, then
mm.
it's so automatic because of
Yeah.
repetition.
Yeah.
And most of our behaviors are like that. We
Mm-hmm.
picked it from somewhere, we've been repeating the same things. We rarely ever got to ask, hey, but they tabia inanisaidia,
Yeah, that's really true. Because even last week, I was on a different forum, Google Moja, and we are talking about mental
Mm,
health. And we had a psychologist called Patel, and we're saying
mm,
some of us don't even know how to breathe. We've just learned how to just do things that we don't even
yeah,
take time to pause and just
yeah,
listen to ourselves, do certain things, or hear ourselves saying certain things. We've not taken that
yeah,
time. That to an extent that some of us don't even know how to breathe. We don't even know how
yeah.
to breathe.
It's true. It's true. And I think for me that's why I am so excited and so passionate about
Mm,
this process of self-discovery. And I'm such a
mm-hmm,
huge proponent of self-awareness, because
mm,
I always say, let's take time to tujielewe, because
mm.
most of the time we are our own biggest blocks.
Mm-hmm.
to what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep on, blaming other people, or having this victim mindset. Why? Because we don't understand our own personal power and how
Yeah.
to use it. And how can you understand your own personal power? Through
Mm-hmm.
this process of self discovery.
Okay.
Get intimate with yourself, get to understand what makes you tick. And for me, if you'd have asked me, because I started this process like what, about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd have asked me, I'd have asked you, what is there to discover? I know everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yet, when I
Mm-hmm.
really now started being intentional, I was like, oh my God, I have
Mm-hmm.
been living with a stranger, as in, I really did not
And you look
understand
back and you don't
myself.
even know what you've been doing the last maybe 10 years. You're like, was I a zombie? What have I
Exactly.
been up to? You can't account for
Exactly.
any of those days.
Exactly. And as you're mentioning that, most of the time we get to that place because we've been pushed. We've been pushed to the point where we are down. Like for me, it was through the divorce. I was like, but then nilifikaje hapa, So
Mm.
let me get to understand so that I don't repeat this, or I can learn something instead of becoming a bitter mama and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I love sharing and saying this. Don't wait until you've been pushed, your back is against the wall, for you to say, okay, by the way, how can I turn this situation around?
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait until you have gotten, I don't know, 1,000 rejection letters before you ask yourself, what am I really good at and what do I want to do?
Yeah, and why is this happening over and over again?
Exactly. What lessons? What can I do better? Most of the
Mm.
time we say, oh, enyewe, the odds are against me. Nilirogwa
Kwetu
jameni.
tu, yeah, kwetu tuko hivyo.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. And
uh,
I love that. Unaona hiyo kwetu tuko hivyo. Most of the time we say that. We say that
mm,
because we have not taken the time.
we have not taken the
We
time.
have not, yes, to understand ourselves on a deeper level. In fact, most of the time we say we are cursed. And from my own research and experience and observations, what we
Mm.
call generational curses are just patterns that keep on
They're
being
just
repeated.
patterns. And then we
Yeah,
notice the patterns, but we don't take time to notice what is causing those patterns in the first place. How did you
exactly.
get
And
there?
exactly, self-discovery and what needs to be done to break those
Nice.
patterns. And
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about patterns, they're both good patterns and negative patterns. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can find someone saying, you know what, I am here because of my mother's
Yeah.
prayers. That's a good
Mm.
pattern. So
Okay.
pick that. That is working for you. Pray for your own children.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's someone who'll say, but then I am here because my family just never gave me the support.
Mm-hmm.
It might not even be your fault that you're where you're at this point, but
Yeah.
it is your responsibility. The turning around is entirely up to you.
Yeah.
So
What I
instead of, yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
I was going to just say, you want to know, like, and know about self-awareness is that it also helps you with your blind spots. Well, by now you be discover what you are contributing in those situations, how those
Exactly.
situations got you there, and that's what the beauty of it. Yeah, go on, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll invite everybody who's just watching. You can ask questions, you can contribute your own stories, whether it's something you know or whether you've done it before. Go on and share your own stories as well. Yeah, go on, Alice. Sorry, dear.
No, I love what you've said, yeah. Because
Mm.
most of the time, also, a reason why we don't want to really get intimate with ourselves is because
Mm.
of exactly what you've said. We really don't want to deal with,
What you will
hey,
uncover.
yes, let's just cover the dirt and act like as if the house is clean. Si tumefagia iko chini ya carpet. Si huku juu
Eh,
inakaa safi. But
Exactly.
yet,
For people
if
to see.
exactly. Yet, if it's something that is rotting, someone will come
Mm-hmm.
into your house. It looks clean, but there's that smell. Now,
Mm-hmm.
for us, as in our lives, the smell is maybe you're dealing with anger issues. Once in a while, it will come out. It will come out in a statement.
It will
It will
come
come
out
out when you're
failing
fighting with your hubby.
relationships. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. It will come out at work. It is that stink that you need to deal
Mm-hmm.
with. But
Following
vile
you.
unasema, we are afraid of getting to know. And part of self-discovery is looking at your blind spots as well.
The dirt.
Asking
You
for
are covered.
feedback. Exactly. Looking at them, not
Mm.
because um you're thinking they're going to minimize you or make you feel less, but because you want to understand yourself better, either so that you can either work on your weaknesses, or you can be able to go around them, or even accept them. Like, I remember for me, part of my self-discovery process was learning, oh my God, Alice, you have you're a very kind and gentle person. You're very compassionate, but when your boundaries are crossed, yeah, I'm very nice. I'm very polite most of the time. But if you try, and I don't know whether we can say this on Facebook, if you try and fuck me up, I am going to make the floor into your face.
I didn't even imagine you do swear. This is the first time I've had you swear, to be honest. But you do swear. Yeah.
And for me, the bigger part of that is accepting. By the way, yeah, if you cross my boundaries, by the way, there are consequences. And most of the time when I'm interacting with people, they go like, "Oh, you're such a nice person," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And then some people will try to, like overstep their boundaries or take advantage. And I'm usually going like, bro, by the way, usiende hapo, or vile unanipeleka unipeleki poa, and I'll warn you. And if you don't listen, by the way, I have no qualms showing you that side, yeah. And most of the time it shocks people. It goes like, people go like, "Oh my God, kumbe you can be this."
Where did that come from?
Like, kumbe, yeah, exactly. Kumbe you can be nasty. I'm like, huh? Congratulations, beach mode unlocked. You're the one who unlocked it. So if you do not want to see that side, then please stay on your lane. Don't overstep boundaries. But for me, that was my biggest aha moment in accepting, you know what? You can be a nice person and still have boundaries. Because
you can be a nice person and still have boundaries.
Exactly.
For me, I think, sorry again. For me, I think it was just in accepting that you can be kind, but still be able to say no.
Exactly. That's another thing. Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to always give and overgive until maybe you don't have yourself, or until it affects you, no, it's okay to say no.
Yeah, because I remember I had the same challenge as well, and it was those ones of and people know, and people who know that will always take advantage. Takers will always take advantage of the givers.
Yeah,
and the givers always, I'd end up resenting people. And like, why am I always doing things for people and they don't do the same for me? Until I realized it's because these people keep on coming back, because they know, by the way, come on, ataka someone to come through for you, everything that they're doing, and you wouldn't do the same for them. It's Alice. Come on, ataka someone to, I don't know, do for you, cover for you this. Tell Alice, she'll leave everything and come and cover for you. But will this person do the same for me when I need them? No. Then I realized, then clearly they're just, and I don't blame them. Imagine if you are in the other end and you knew, by the way, so and so never says no. It's just human nature that you'll want to just get from them as much. So it's not even about the other person. I love saying you can't control other people. Exactly.
And some are manipulative. They know they won't speak to you, or they won't be friends with you anymore if you said no. So you want to save that relationship because you've not discovered yourself. Okay, we've lost our guest. But she's coming back in a moment. Don't worry, don't go anywhere. Hi guys, welcome. Tell us what you've learned. Tell us what you know. Share your own stories as we wait for our guest to come back. Yeah, she'll be back in a minute, I know. Yeah, so we have Alice Jabi, who is our conscious life coach, and she's written a book that you should buy. It's only 1,000, and it will change your life. It's a workbook too. I love workbooks. Workbooks are brilliant. Okay, there we are.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, my camera is off. Let me see.
Okay. I'm taking the other one now. Okay, better. Yeah, go. But I'm having an echo.
There's an echo.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
Okay, I'd mentioned my laptop charge was going off. Yeah, I'm using my phone now.
I realized that. But I wonder whether you should logged out or something.
Okay, let me log out and try and come in.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah,
about that.
sorry about that.
So anyway, welcome everybody. We are talking about self-discovery, and
So everybody, we are talking about self-discovery, and we've not even wasted that bit.
Try and mute yourself and
Try and mute yourself and I see whether it's coming from your end. I thought I've gone off.
You're still on.
You're still on. I'm still on. Just a second. Just a second. Hii kutumia simu ni challenge.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. I'm beginning to learn it.
Echo. Okay, and make sure you close all your windows and then try and come back again.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me kick you out on all of them, and then you come back on. Okay. I guess we'll make it back. Hi guys, welcome. Today we're talking about self-discovery, and we're getting to the point of steps on how to get there. We are understanding what self-discovery is. It's amazing that we still don't know what self-discovery is. It's amazing that you could be like in your 40s, in your late 30s or whatever, but you still don't know the real you, the actual you, and that is a challenge for most of us. And that's why sometimes we do things over and over again. We make the same mistakes. We're never learning. You're never improving. You can read all this book and do all these things, but you still find yourself in the same place in another feedback loop. So yeah, and that's why we talk about this. Echo is back. The echo is still there. Yeah.
Try and close all other windows. Any window that's all right.
Yeah, that's why we are here. That things we just do automatically because they're just habits. You wake up, you never know why you were a doctor, why you become a nurse. You think that they were your choices, but maybe they were all environmental choices, and you wonder why you're always unhappy. Maybe you have the life that people admire, and you can't understand why you're not happy in it and why you don't like it. Maybe it's just circumstances that force you there, the expectations of parents, the school you went to, the influence you had around you, and you never really got to know you, the real you deep inside. So that's why we're having this topic. Our guest will be back. Don't go anywhere. I was going to answer the steps towards self-discovery. How can one become the best self? And powerful questions we could ask ourselves. Sometimes we ask the wrong questions, and that's the whole point. That's the whole problem. We don't know what questions to ask ourselves, and we find ourselves in the same circumstances, and that is the big deal. So welcome, guys. If you're just coming on, you need to watch it from the beginning. Wow, Gus explains what self-discovery is and our own journey, and then now we're just waiting for her to come back on. I have laptop ran out of charge. She had already told me it might happen, so she's trying to use her phone. Phones can be a nightmare sometimes if you're not used to it. Hello, say hello to me. Tell me where you're joining from and tell me what you understand by self-discovery as we wait for our guest to come back. It was getting really good. Yeah, it was getting really amazing. Say hello, karibuni, and I might as well take a break for a minute. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Nanzaje Sarah Ulikuwapi Niko Ulikuwa wapi Niko Sikame Never ever give up Sikame Never ever give up Mungu will bless our ways. Mungu will bless our ways. Niko Answer man, Niko Sikame, never ever give up. Sikame, never ever give up. Our Lord God.
Okay, hello, welcome back.
I'm hoping you can be able to hear me better now.
It is absolutely better now. Thank you.
Happy to hear.
Thank you. So yeah, go on from where you left.
Please refresh my thoughts. It's kind of like you need me a bit. There's
Yeah,
someone
no,
here.
I also when I lost all like, oh no, okay, let's go on and talk about the steps towards self-discovery. What are some of the steps that people can, take to get to understand themselves, to know who they are, why they make certain choices, why they keep on making certain choices, when they understanding those patterns and what to do with those patterns, such like things.
All right. I think the first thing to share would be one has to be willing. You have to have the willingness to learn about yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
learning means, a part of learning means you have to be willing to unlearn things
Willing.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, to be
Mm-hmm.
willing to learn new things and
Mm-hmm.
rely. And most of the time we have this challenge of, like you're mentioning earlier, even your two, that's how we are. So yeah, at home we have anger issues. Yet we don't take the time to say, by the way, at home we do have anger issues. That's but what can we do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Where these anger issues come from. And most of the
Mm-hmm.
time you'll, especially when it comes to negative emotions, if
Mm-hmm.
you don't take the time, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't take the time to examine them, because even negative emotions, there's something that they're telling you. Anger could be telling you perhaps your boundaries have been overstepped. Anger
Mm-hmm.
could be telling you there are values of yours that you're not living up to. Anger could be
Mm-hmm.
telling you you're not being listened to, you're not being heard. But most of the
Mm-hmm.
time, unapata, if you don't take that time to understand, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't take time to sit with your emotions, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't take time to really get to understand yourself on
Mm-hmm.
a deep level, then those emotions will come up, those patterns will come up, and most of the
Mm-hmm.
time they'll come in a negative way. So
Mm-hmm.
um, one of the most important things when it comes to self-discovery, you have to have a willing heart. You have to have a willing heart and an open mind
Mm-hmm.
to get new things. You can't be saying, but then even you see tuko, because that
Yeah.
just cuts you off
Excuse
from it.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
a good way that you can actually find out more about yourself is, instead of asking, why are we that way? Because every time you ask someone, you are like this, they tend to want to defend themselves. Why are you
Mm-hmm.
like this? Why are you late? Because there was traffic. Why are you late? Because ni kujitetea. But if we can
Not
look,
taking responsibility.
exactly. But if we took a different just a different way around it, and instead of asking why,
Mm-hmm.
asked
Yeah.
what makes me this way. It gives you an opportunity to want to
Ask
learn
what?
more about. Yes,
Yeah.
ask what makes me think this,
Mm-hmm.
what makes me late, knowing that I'm not supposed to be late. Because if I say why, I'll give it an excuse. There's traffic.
Yeah.
But yet
Mm-hmm.
traffic was 10 years ago, there today, it will be there 10 years from tomorrow. So traffic should never be an excuse. What makes me this way? Because I value people's time, because I
Mm-hmm.
expect people for me, because I never learned.
Mm-hmm.
I never how to, respect other people's opinions or times, or because maybe mine were never respected.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
subconsciously, I'm just revenging, so to speak, or it's just
Mm-hmm.
a bad habit picked that I need to unlearn.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, you have to have a very open mind, and
Mm-hmm.
then an open mind and a willing heart. And then other bit of self-discovery, be curious. Don't think, I think the reason why, in fact, it is said, if someone thinks they know everything, you
Mm-hmm.
can't teach them.
They're not gonna learn.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
if I think I know myself, yeah, najua
Yeah.
everything about myself, I'm never gonna learn. So
Mm-hmm.
I like looking at it, like, even for me, it's new experiences. I'm learning every day. I'm constantly learning. I'm learning something
Mm-hmm.
about myself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning about the world works. I'm learning about the people around me and how to relate better with them. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always learning something new. Why? Because I have come to learn, for me to be able to grow, I have to have that open curiosity
Mm.
of, why am I this way? Okay, so why did I respond to this? And it's
Yeah.
amazing how you get so many aha moments if you're
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
And curiosity here, let me just add, curiosity, especially when it comes to self-discovery,
Mm.
curiosity has to be matched, has to come together with compassion, because there are
Mhm.
things you do yourself that are not so good, but you have to be compassionate.
Mhm.
Why am I this way? Because maybe it could be because I'm a mean person, yeah.
Mm. Mm.
And yet, maybe I've been telling myself all this time, I am such a kind person. Then
Yeah.
I'm coming to realize I've been lying to myself. I'm not kind. I'm very mean. So
Mm.
when I realize that, then it's for me to be compassionate. If it
Mm.
was a friend that I was talking to and I realized that, and it's someone I hold so dear to me,
Mm.
how would I respond to that situation?
Mm.
If it's a friend who made a mistake, yeah,
Mm.
and they're very dear to me, how would I respond to them? If it was a 10-year-old that, that if maybe I'm looking at maybe my childhood experiences and the things that I went through, if I was talking to that 10-year-old child, how would I talk to them?
Yeah.
That is how I need to talk to my inner child. You
Yeah.
know, validation and appreciation that I've found I really, really that make me really shine, then those are
Yeah.
the things I understand I need to give myself first before I
Yeah.
see them in other people.
Yeah, you know what? That little child is in all of us, and all of us don't want to face that little child. And then, like you said before, it will come up in our workplaces, it will come up in our hunger. People will see it. The thing is, because we are scared of meeting that child, but all
Yeah,
that child maybe wants is just to be reassured and be told, you know what, you're safe now. You know
egg.
what, you wanted that doll. Yeah, you wanted that
Yeah,
doll. We can afford it now. Don't worry,
yeah,
you can have as many dolls as you want. You can afford it now. You don't have to like pinch the neighbors. You don't have to do that. You're compassionate about all those things that child craved for. Family attention, mom talking to them or being loving them. All that child is still just there waiting. And imagine living your whole life until you're 50s, 60s, and never meeting that child and telling them, you know what, sweetheart, you are safe now. It's okay now.
yeah. And I've loved that you've mentioned that, because you'll find that inner child is always craving to be seen,
Yeah,
to be listened to be heard, to be
to be
understood.
heard. Mm-hmm.
And until we give that to ourselves, we
Mm-hmm.
will repeating the same patterns, whether it's in relationships. We'll find
Mm.
people let me give an example. Guys who are really treated badly in relationships, but
Mm.
they're still clinging to those relationships.
Mm.
There's a reason. There's something that this relationship feeds in them that they're not feeding themselves. Otherwise, a whole and
Yeah.
complete, they would not be involved in a toxic relationship.
No.
And most of the time, what do? We always blame our partners. Oh, my partner is narcissistic. Then we
Mm.
forget, for them to be narcissistic and for you to be in the same space, you guys are matching energies.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I like giving the example of a bully and the one who's being bullied. When that bully comes into let's say the classroom, yeah, when
Mm.
that bully comes in, where is it that they will pick one
The
person over
weakest. The weakest.
the
Yeah.
egg?
Yeah.
Why? There's a match, there's an energy
There's a
match going.
match.
Exactly. So even in this self-discovery process, instead of saying my partner is a narcissistic and simtete bede, and they probably have their own issues that they need to sort,
Mm.
but I cannot sort it out for them. So how can I sort it for myself? Okay,
Mm.
they're probably leaning on me because I'm weak. How am I being weak? I have zero boundaries.
Mm.
How am I weak? I'm unable to express myself. How am I weak? Instead of communicating, I internalize pain. And then I
Yeah.
start hurting
Big
other people.
lashing. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I start lashing it out, or I draw it towards me, and then I start self-hate, or maybe
Self-harm.
addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen most of the diseases that and it's so sad that people have are actually emotionally related. They are stress related.
Yeah.
Most of the blood pressure issues are associated, and is because of the relationship we are having with others, that either are not able to address the difficult issues, or stress because the emotions that I'm denying to acknowledge. You know, there are things like insomnia, lack of sleep. Lack
Yeah.
of sleep most of the time is brought about by the thoughts that we are refusing to confront. Kuna kitu, but I really don't want to acknowledge because I don't want to do it. I won't acknowledge it during the day. Guess what? At night, it keeps on coming up. But it won't come
You're
up as a,
suppressing it.
exactly. It will just come up in terms of my body is refusing to shut down because it's something I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of self-discovery is really getting, to understand and know ourselves on that level of,
Yeah.
and some of the questions we can actually use, we can ask ourselves, and I love sharing this all the time, is how am I feeling right now? We
Yeah.
always ask others, hey, how are you doing?
How are
We
you
never
doing?
exactly, hey Nicole, how are you? How are you
Cocoa.
doing? Exactly. Thank you. But we rarely get to ask ourselves, how am I doing? How am I feeling right
You know
now?
what, Alice? That's so true because all we do is we live in the future or in the past. So we're totally focused on what happened to us and totally
Yeah,
focused on what will happen in the future, that we don't take time to focus on the now, right now, what's happening right now, how am I? Right now, why am I not sleeping? Right now, why am I ill?
yeah,
Right now, why am I stressed? Right now, why is my partner annoying me? Right
ex-
now, how we don't have to face all these things. Yeah,
yeah.
go on, dear. Yeah.
I love, and
Mm.
in fact, you've just explained it even better, because part of that is asking, how am I feeling right now? Then,
Mm.
what am I maybe anxious about? Am I anxious
Yeah,
about?
true.
Am I anxious about, I don't know, kids going back to
Mm.
school and
Mm.
all the fees? Am
Mm.
I anxious about, my boss said a statement that really got to me.
Mm-hmm.
Am I upset or am I anxious? Am I angry? Am I frustrated?
Mm-hmm.
Most of Yes, most of the time we don't even understand. We don't understand our own emotions because we have never sat with our own emotions.
Yes, and then there's a lot of words that are used loosely anyway. And then I was going to ask you the next question. What are some of those powerful questions we can ask ourselves? And I like that's coming up because sometimes we don't know even what to ask and we ask it wrong. So you don't
Yeah,
know even the difference of being stressed and being depressed. So you're
ex-
always like, oh, I'm depressed. You're using those words just loosely, but you don't know what you really mean and what you really need to confront. Yeah,
exactly.
amazing. Let me welcome those who have just joined us. Welcome, guys. We're talking about self-discovery. We've defined it, and now we're taking steps towards it, and we're realizing that, what you're going to meet is not necessarily good. And yeah, you got to know that sometimes there will be skeletons there. Those that taka we've been sweeping under the carpet might be stinking right now. So those are some of the things we're talking about right now. Feel free to ask questions and contribute yourself on your own understanding and stuff. And yeah, ask anything you need to understand further. Go on, Alice. Go on. You're on fire. I like fire.
I have to
I love fire.
we can ask ourselves is,
Mm.
what am I upset about? And
Mm-hmm.
I presently, I love that you mentioned the power of now being present. What
Mm-hmm.
am
The
I
burner.
upset
Mm-hmm.
about?
Mm-hmm.
And then I love this question, yeah, is
Mm.
because we have been, how do I put this? We have been made to think that our thoughts, our feelings are not relevant.
Yeah.
So we minimize them. We
Mm-hmm.
minimize them, yet they still
Mm-hmm.
come up. And it could be something as small as, I'm upset that my partner has left towels on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Something as small as that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
upset that, Nicole made a statement that was really off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me to understand, most of the time we can, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, there are times where you can see it and you don't know ni nini akusumbua, but you're just feeling
Would
off.
you just feel, yeah. And it's either you can just wake up now on a cycle where you just bored and sometimes you just don't know. You just don't
Exactly.
understand it. Ama mtu anaweza kukasirisha like you're saying, something so simple. So just a minor banter, just whatever it is, but you find yourself going from 0 to 100, and it's got nothing to do with what that person said.
Exactly.
Hata akianza kukuuliza kitu ilikukasirisha, atapata sasa unaleta vitu zingine, and where did that come from? Hata yuko confused sasa, you know. Amazing.
Totally. And I love this question. And the thing about these questions is not really to get the answers per se, yeah, but it's to understand ourselves better. You'd be surprised when it hits you. Oh my God, kumbe, towels when it's on the floor really get to me. You know, it's such a small deal, but it's not a small deal. It's and it could
it's not. Agree.
I'm upset because maybe what my partner was supposed to show up for this meeting to support me and they did. I'm upset because alikuwa amesema chapa ya kufanya.
You see the way you're saying about maybe your partner is late and stuff. I also came to learn that sometimes it's not them being late, but the thing behind the lateness. Is it because you feel disrespected by it? Is it, you know, sometimes when you now self-discover, you come to know that, no, it's your attachment to time that is a problem. And when people are late, they annoy you because you feel like they're disrespecting you, but it's got nothing to do with that particular incident of them being late at that time. So yeah, I do like, that's what I like about discovery. You come to notice those little things, and like even the sleep, like you're saying, the next day you might realize that if you come to deal with the problem, you come to realize, you know what, I didn't sleep too well last night. That's why I'm moody today. And why am I moody today? Because I didn't sleep last night. What happened that I didn't sleep last night? Or so-and-so said this at work, and I was trying to process it, whether they meant it or they didn't mean it. But I also didn't want to know the answer because they're important to me. And that's why I was awake. So you find that you're now solving things. You might get the answers, like you're saying, sometimes you might not. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
Let me share my own experience. Yeah. Today, that happened today. Yesterday, I happened to have gone to the gym and I overdid it because I hadn't gone for the past few days. So I felt I had to compensate. So I overdid it, knowing that Leo, by the way, because normally when I overdo, the next day muanga nimechoka kabisa. I knew those were the consequences. But what I found to be very interesting was in the morning I was on Facebook. I was just scrolling through, and I happened to see this particular lady who was looking very nice. And for a moment there, I was jealous. And I found it to be so interesting. I was like, this Jambi, you know, this is so unlike you. As in, normally, unakwanga wendo, you know, cheerleading people. And how comes there's something of, I knew, but this is not you. There's something of. Kitambo, I'd have just, you know, like brushed it off. But I was curious. I stayed with that feeling for like 2 minutes, you know, asking myself, why would I feel this way? And then I looked and I saw I'm feeling this way because I think there's this thing that this person has that I don't have. Then I asked myself, okay, really? So fine, umesha notice the reason why you're envious or jealous is because they have something that you don't have. But does their having mean that it lessens on your end? Does their having mean that you can't have it? And I started laughing because I connected my being in a different state with my being tired. And I was in shock. I was like, oh my God. Okay, I'm feeling very lethargic. And what that means, I'm not even able to think the way I usually do. And for me, it was such an aha moment. I was like, oh my God, we keep on discovering new things about ourselves. So when I am in the right mind space, I'm able to have the right mental conversations with myself. I'm able to see people differently. When I'm not in the right mind space, then it affects, I was so shocked. It affects my emotions and it affects even my outlook on things. And now it was a whole mental, you know, it was a whole conversation. I called myself for a meeting. Then I'm like, okay, first of all, half of the day, you've been very slow because your body is trying to catch up with what you did So, Alice Jambi, was that worth it? No. So don't overcompensate. Just go and did what you are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then understand
Thank
that
you.
when you're not in the right space, it will affect, everything else. So this
Everything.
clearly means, what, if I am not in the right mental state, or if I'm physically tired, then even the conversations that I have, I need to be very careful about the conversations that I'm having with people around me. And
Yeah.
I found that to be so interesting because probably many years ago, I wouldn't have made that connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for other people, maybe it could be a bit different. Instead of me sitting to observe and ask myself why I would think that way, I'd probably just take my phone and comment, at okay, poa, or it's those comments that people put. Sijui
Yeah.
mtaachana,
Oh God,
or
forbid! I hope I never do that. Oh my God, I'll so hate myself if I ever bring somebody else that. Let's read a comment. It's what gives me purpose in my life, and do we as ourselves? Do I miss myself, and how? It's what give me purpose in my life, and do we as ourselves? Do I miss myself, and how? Number two, that was number one. What I have carried with me since my childhood. Also, we need to discover things that hold us back. Absolutely, yeah. When you discover yourself and ready to, whatever you face, you will have to deal with it. Then you'll discover that's where your limiting beliefs are. That's why things are holding you back. And that's why you have certain fears and not putting yourself, not showing up in something. Thank you. And Phil Green, yeah, exactly. Depressed and stressed are useful loosely. And this hinders many from seeking help when need be. So we're learning here that sometimes we use the wrong words when we're having a meeting with ourselves and discovering ourselves. Sometimes we use the wrong words and interchanging them, So Alice, I was just going to mention when it comes to asking ourselves questions, again, I think it was in this forum or the other one where we were talking about mental health, and what came up was something that had happened to me recently, whereby somebody had written something really mean, something about me.
Can you be a bit louder? I'm straining to hear you. I don't know what has happened.
No, I think I could be far from this. Is that better?
Just speak a bit louder. Okay, someone was trying to call me, and when I cut them off, I don't know, something happened to my volume.
Oh, okay, because I tend to shout usually, so today I'm trying to. So, yeah, we were talking about when you were talking about mental health some time back, and what something that just happened to me that week, and it was something somebody had written something that they knew I'll definitely read, and it wasn't. It felt so bad, and I felt so upset about it, and I wanted to cry, and eventually cried. But later on, I had to talk to myself and ask myself, what is it about that situation that made me upset? What is it? Was it the words? Was it the person? Was it the forum? Was it the platform where it was written? What is it about that situation that made me upset? And I came to realize that, what? Because lately I have to be truthful with myself. I'm learning to be truthful with myself. I'm learning to let go of the ego and know where the ego is speaking. So to me, I came to confront it and realize it was the ego. The ego was bruised. The ego felt bad about it being put there in a forum that I know a lot of people who know me will see it. So I came down and what? I was like, I can deal with this. I can deal with this. And that's the beauty of self-discovery. You learn to ask yourself powerful and important questions. Yeah. And so you are talking about the powerful questions we could ask ourselves. Guys, if you have any questions, do ask. And if you have anything to share, feel free. This is a free forum where we learn from each other. Alice has talked about so many things. If you've missed it, you might have to go back and watch the beginning. Really useful. So yeah, go on, Alice. Yeah, I'm all ears.
I'm straining to hear you. I don't know what has happened.
Sorry, but you are quite audible. So you're the most important person right now. So go ahead. Okay. Do I need to be louder? Oh, she's gone. She's gone. She's gone. So yeah, amazing topic about self-discovery, because a lot of us don't really know about ourselves. You find that we would go like online. Oh, look who's made it. Hi, dear. Hi, Sonia. Yeah, so a lot of guys don't really know about ourselves, and you might find yourself asking innocent questions on different forums. It could be a business forum, and you'll be asking things like, "Oh, what business can I do? What business shall I do? I have 100K. What can I do with that business?" People will give you their answers based to themselves, based to what they know, based on their own experience and stuff. But then it doesn't necessarily mean that it will suit you. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. Say, for instance, somebody tells you, "Oh, now cloth business is really good, it's really booming, you'll make double that money in less than 2 months." Yes, you might do that, but I'm trying to charge my phone, but I took off the wrong item. But you might find that that's not you, that's not suitable for you. So you go into a business, 2 months down the line, it fails. It only fails because you're trying to try somebody else's journey, live somebody else's journey. It's not your journey. That's why we're talking about discovery, the importance of self-discovery. Alice, thanks, you're back.
Yeah, and I can hear you way better.
Yeah, I'll mute for a bit while I try to put my phone on charge. Okay.
Okay.
Alice, the floor is yours, dear.
Yes, please, I couldn't hear what you were saying before, so please just, yeah,
Oh,
put me to, please.
no, I was just sharing a story. It's not interfering with what you're talking about. Hi, thank you, welcome. Hi guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking about self-discovery and what questions we could ask ourselves, powerful questions, the steps towards self-discovery, and some of the things we'll notice. That's what you're talking about. Alice, back to you. I was just sharing something that happened on. We were talking about mental health, and I was sharing a story that happened to me just that week, whereby somebody had written something, put something out that they knew I would see, and it was not necessarily a nice thing.
Mm,
So yeah, because the topic that week was mental health and social media. So we were talking about how social media sometimes can affect us. And then it did upset me. But when I went back and sat with myself, I wanted to know why it actually upset me. So I
mm,
asked myself those questions that I needed, those powerful questions. Is it is it the person who put it there? Is it the thing that was written in itself? Is it that thing that annoyed you or upset you? Or is it the forum? Is it what did annoy you? So yeah, at that time when I asked myself those questions, that's when I realized a lot of things about myself. And because lately I've been trying to strip up the ego and learn a lot about the ego and how it influences our decision. So I did come when I asked the right questions, and thanks to self-discovery, now you can learn to ask the right question. I learned that what actually upset me at that time, and it was just the ego that got bruised. It's got nothing to do with anything else, because when you try learn to humble the ego, you'll be more compassionate to yourself, to the world around you, to things around you. You won't tend to take things at heart as much. So yeah, let me continue with your flow if you can remember where you are.
I was just sharing on how I discovered that my being tired, has actually such a huge impact on my emotions and in on my mental state as well. Yeah. I just wanted to add something to something that you've said that is very profound. And it's about self-discovery is about examination. It's about guided examination, so to speak. An examination of your thoughts, an examination of your feelings. Like for you, it was like, okay, what is going on here? For me, it was the same. Why would I be envious of, someone who I don't even know? Why would I be envious? And it's that examination and allowing yourself, and like you're saying, asking the right questions.
Yeah.
That and that is what my workbook is all about. I think over 90% are questions. Questions that will make you reflect, questions that will make you think deeper. Because most of the time we just feel or think on a surface level. Okay, that person said something that really upset me,
Mm,
but really get to sit and ask ourselves what was really going on. It
mm-hmm,
was a ego. The ego is not me. My self-love means that I have to have such an internal compass and an
mm,
internal balance that is so
mm,
strong criticism does not put me down, and neither does compliments. Such that if we get to find that, and most of us have found ourselves in that situation, people praise you, unapata mtu anaingia and there's a long weekend coming, mkubwa umeingia, kiongozi, then you start paying bills. Why? You're feeding on that, and people know so and so akiingia hapa by the hata buy drinks, we muite tu kiongozi.
Yes, yeah, mwite tu wamesha papasa ego, and they put a label, and we like these labels. We have to live. That's why you have to be really careful when it comes to self-discovery, what kind of label that was placed on you or that you live by. Maybe you are known as that kind person, so you want to live by that. But now it's about time you put boundaries to save yourself. It can be negative labels, it can be good labels, but at the end of the day, detrimental to your well-being, to your journey, So yeah, kiongozi ameingia.
Some because of that validation and what that they're getting. Let's say so Wednesday, by the way, pengine atajalipa school fees na mtoto amerudi shule. Wednesday, that everyone they were having drinks, she was having drinks with. They have got, in fact, they're probably even laughing behind their backs.
That's so, yeah, they do that, and so bad, but that's what people are like. Yeah.
And so if I got to understand myself, and I know I'm that type of a person, there's a long weekend coming later kwa sherehe, then self-discovery and understanding myself means taking responsibility, for my actions and my choices. So since I understand, by the way, I will probably not have money on Tuesday, then I should know, by the way, before Tuesday, kama niko na kulipa rent, ni rent. Kama pengine watu watakuwa mlipwa by the long weekend. And wengine drinks. So if I am type of a person, it's for me to understand if my salary has come in and I know naenda sherehe, I've paid my rent, if I have school fees I've paid, if I was sending money, if I had a loan, I have sorted. So since I know I have that weakness of kitu kiongozi niingie ni by drink, but then nitaingia na either 2,000 ama 500 whatever amount, knowing by then why, kwa sababu ama nikitumia pesa zangu zote hata nipate Tuesday sina pesa, I have paid my. There's no one I'm going to ask ati nirushe 2,000 nitakusort, after 2 weeks. It's because of irresponsibility. And I love that self-discovery is about getting to know both parts, the good and the bad. I'm such a good person. People love me. They come. They love, being around me. But I also struggle with this, which goes understanding what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses. Just enough to say, what am I struggling with right now?
Yeah.
And be what? It could be maybe I'm struggling with alcohol. Most of the time, find most of our addictions, most of our addictions are because of emotions that we have not dealt with. Things that we are refusing to confront. So I get to understand, okay, my addiction, by the way, and this is me just accepting and agree with myself. When my struggles, if these are my current struggles, what do they say about me? Because if I'm struggling, part of myself that I either have acknowledged. No, if I'm struggling to say no, why am I struggling to say no? It's because perhaps I want to please people, because I could be dealing with an abandonment wound. I was left so and so by so and so, and it left such a gaping hole in me that I never want to. So I just want people around. I don't want people to leave. And I come to learn that if I am nice, I've associated kindness with people being around me. Like sometimes we pick up their good labels and their negative labels as well. Even good labels was in prison, so to speak. Everyone is expecting me to be kind. By the way, Nicole asked for a favor. Not expecting still not think that I'm a kind person, but it's for me. I am struggling with that. I'm struggling with saying no because I want to please people. Why? Because I'm looking for their approval. If I'm looking for their approval, then it means that I'm denying myself that, and I'm looking for it elsewhere. So let me approve myself. Villainy, let me approve of myself such that I won't need other people's approval. So if
Like
I
you
ask
said, validation that people seek from their partners or spouses and stuff. Yeah.
exactly such that if Nicole says if I say no to Nicole and she's upset or she doesn't like me, imagine it. Ni sawa.
It should be sour. We should have that. I don't know, not freedom, but we should be happy enough to know that it's okay. And it's
Yes.
okay not to be loved by everybody. It's okay. It depends on who is important in your life. It's okay to say no to people. It's just being comfortable around that. And I think, yeah, that's very true about the beauty of self-discovery, is being able to put those boundaries without being necessarily mad at yourself, or hating yourself for saying no to somebody.
Yeah.
You have to discover that some people will just milk you dry. And it's okay
Yeah.
to say no when you don't have. Do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because that's what you were taught. Don't do it that because you saw it in your family where your parents gave everything they had and they went without, just because in the culture you can't say no. So they used to give even the last drop. And now you're doing the same thing because that's what you know, that's what you always saw. But it's okay to say no. If that person is hurt, it's got nothing to do with you. It's not your responsibility. Your
Exactly.
responsibility is knowing yourself and where you can reach.
Yeah. And let me add, those are awesome points. Yeah. Just to add something on that, yeah. It's also okay for other people to say no to you. So it goes both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah.
It's okay. And so you shouldn't be mad just because somebody placed boundaries. Yeah.
Exactly.
You are
Exactly.
comfortable in your own skin. Brilliant. I don't know whether anybody has some questions on that. So on my part, my self-discovery journey has, and it's still being with the help of the Bible. Oh yeah, that's nice. You've taken the spiritual journey, spiritual part of it. It's really transformative when you face your demons and tell yourself, I want to be better. I can be better. Absolutely amazing. Then you said, on my path of discovery has and still is being shaped with the aid of the Bible. And then somebody did say, that's Miriam, all reading comments, trying to catch up. Yeah, I think you're better off watching from the beginning for you to catch up. We've defined it, we've talked a lot and said a very important thing. So, Alice, so somebody comes to you now and tell you, I want to discover myself. Where would you start? I want all this self-awareness, self-discovery. What's that first step? What's that first step to their journey? Where do they go? How do they start? Because a lot of people don't have this information. They don't know where to go. They don't know where to start. They're like, okay, that sounds good. That sounds cool. Okay, I'm happy to face the demons. I'm happy to know what I swept under the carpet. I'm happy to do all that. But how do I start?
Awesome. That's a very good question. Yeah. And you don't to go anywhere to start. You don't need to enroll in anything to start. Or someone to start. You can start you are right now. Open your mekachini, by this one question. Just asking yourself, why do I do the things that I do? And then,
what?
why do I do the things that I do?
Why do I do the things that I do?
Yeah, just ask. I should ask myself, why do I do the things that I do? Then after that question, be open. Be open to observing yourself. This is the fact. Yeah. And you'll find, this is such an interesting experiment. Yeah. As human beings, this capacity to be the doer and the witness. You can be of your thoughts and witnessing your thoughts at the same time. And I would encourage all of us to do this. And I remember when I was doing this for myself, I could see myself in a situation where I'm getting so mad and I'm feeling tongue-tied because back then I was really having a challenge expressing myself. And I could see by the Alice Jambi hapo ungesema hii lakini ukusema. And you're mad now that kusema, and this is how you're either picking at the kids over something so small, or you're now taking it to your house girl, or you're sitting here. Yet the person who you should have expressed all to is probably maybe snoring or in at their home, because maybe it was sometimes kwa barabara napeleka makasiriko nyumbani. But for me, it was just that understanding and just observing myself. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when I'm around these kind of people, when I'm around Akina Nicole, I love the conversation. Yeah, I'm, around so and so, I go home feeling tired. Just observe before you observe yourself with all the kindness. Stop saying, say, oh my God, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Oh my God, yeah, you responded. Oh my God, you should have said. So observing, okay. So this happened. This happened. I woke up and I was anxious about this. I was anxious about work because they said, I don't know, they want to do a layoff. And this is how my party rolled out. When I went to the parking nikapata nimeblokiwa, I was so outrageous. You know, kana neighbor kupata ame double back or something. Normally, if I was, I wouldn't have done that. Just observe. Was it wrong? Insult the neighbor? Yes, but you did it. You're observing yourself. Why? Because I love saying this. Awareness creates room for transformation.
Nice.
You cannot change until I get to find out, oh, by the way, this is what I'm struggling with. And accept struggling, maybe trying to save, or I'm struggling not spending, or I'm struggling having a difficult conversation with my partner. Until I do that, then I can be able to change that. So I would love all of us to start doing. And like I mentioned, you don't need a coach to start. You don't need a partner. You don't need to go to a location.
Guys, you're listening to this. These are coaches telling you that you don't need a coach to start your self-discovery journey. You can start it with whatever you have. There's this biblical story that I like using as reference. I absolutely love it. When God approached Moses, and he was like, I want you to serve me. And Moses was like, I don't have anything. I'm a stammerer. He had all these excuses why he can't do this, why he can't be. And God said, pointed at the stick he had. All he needed was that stick. And look at that stick. It rescued people from slavery. Just that stick. Uko na nini kwa mkono? Niko na fimbo. That fimbo changed the whole world. It changed us because we're still reading about it and learning about it. So start from where you are with whatever you have. Personally speaking, for my self-awareness, I think my very transformative bit I've always thought was when I discovered self-forgiveness. I discovered to forgive myself for my choices, forgive myself for the things I've done in the past, forgive myself for a lot of things, and be compassionate to myself. So just like you would with a child or a friend, and they came to you and they'll be like, I've done this, I've said this. So for me, I think that's when my self-discovery came, where now I was like, okay, if I start from the point of forgiveness, then whatever demon that comes, I can face it by knowing that, you know what, just like the way the God tells us is already forgiven us. All we need to say is go to him, go to him and, confess your sins, but the forgiveness is there. It's just asking for it. So I asked myself for forgiveness, and I was able to face myself with compassion. So to me, that was transformative. And after that, noticing my thoughts a lot, and noticing what I think about most of the time, what are those things that occupy my mind a lot of the time. So it's made me so aware that anytime that I flip at my son, or I flip and I'm mad at anything, or I can't express myself, I'm trying to communicate with somebody, and then I am aware, I'm more aware of, you know what, I am doing it right now. Why am I
Yeah.
doing it? Is it the person? Is it me? Is it the situation? Is it where we are? Why am I doing it? And it's amazing when you have those thoughts and start, okay, the past,
Yeah.
leave it. The future, leave it. Because we mix those things every time. We forget about just being now, this present moment. I'm talking to Alice, and Alice is saying that, no, we're thinking, oh, in the past I didn't say this, or I should have said this. In the past I should have done this. Oh, in the
Yeah.
future I will do this better. When Alice comes, you're not thinking of, oh, Alice is giving me a brilliant points right now. Look at this, we are learning so much right now. And that is, for me, I found that to be amazing and transformative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And perhaps I can add one more thing. Yeah. I am not
Brand, yeah.
to, to what? I'm not trying to do away with the role of coach. And in fact, I mean, you and I are coaches. I coach for a living. That's what, I get my daily bread from. But the whole idea of starting is once you start, yeah, now, like you're saying, you get to learn more about yourself. And it's, how do I put this? It occurs to us in different ways. And for some, they'll get to connect the dots and see, oh my God, I have a lot of childhood trauma, and it's blocking me
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
way. And perhaps I need to see a counselor.
Mm,
I do a lot
mm,
of self sabotage. I
mm,
can I can get the help of a life
mm,
coach to just
mm,
figure things out and help me focus on my goals.
mm,
I'm a poor spender. I mean, I'm
mm,
a poor saver. Maybe I need to enroll a financial coach to get me more discipline.
mm.
And the idea is once you've that to that coach or that counselor, you
Mm.
don't have that notion of I've come for you to tell me what my issues are and to fix.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
come in, I've already done my work, and all I need is, someone to hold my hand and support me. All I need is encouragement along this journey. All I need
Yeah.
is different perspective, a different
Yeah.
eye to help
Yeah.
me situation differently.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
done said their work, but then they're coming for coaching, yeah, they're
Yeah.
bound to be way more successful than someone who's never even bothered to ask themselves those kind of.
Yeah, I like you saying that. You know what? A coach, for most of us, we just help you with like your blind spot, to help you ask the right question, discover yourself, know yourself better. But it's just like even going to God. When you go before God and you've not really wanted to commit yourself, a pastor can pray. Even the best pastor in the world can pray to you and pray to you, but that's nothing. When you go home, you go back to the same situation, you go back to the same things, you go back to familiarity. So you're back to square one. Even if you're sick at the doctors, if you don't believe you can be healed, the doctors will try all these things, but you've not accepted healing, you've not believed the doctor can heal you, you don't believe that the doctor can help with the right medication. So whatever the doctor does, it's not going to help you, because everything starts with you. You come to a coach and you're accepting that you need help, you're accepting that you know this about yourself and stuff, you're accepting your own limiting beliefs. So okay, I don't think they can help me. So when you are aware of that, then you see how can you deal with that, so that you know that they can help you, or so that you're open to being helped and stuff. So amazing. You're not saying you don't need a coach. Yes, if you want to like change your life, transform your life, you do need help. You go to a teacher to learn in school, you go to a doctor to be healed, you go to a pastor for this. Everybody goes for, if everybody's got their own roles. But just
Yeah.
everything just start with yourself. Just have those important conversations with yourself before anything else. Before
Mm.
anything else. Somebody's told you this is so amazing, Alice Njali. I know, right? Alice got a book, and support Alice. It's only 1K. She's got a book and she's also got a forum. 21 days to self awareness. It's absolutely what we're talking about. Yeah.
Let me say, I don't know whether you guys can see. I
Oh,
know, come on, because it's like this one is day 16,
uh-huh.
discovering your.
Oh, nice. That's even better. So somebody can always, continue with their journey. Because one thing that you have to remember, guys, it won't be easy. It won't be easy. You will fall back to your old habits. Sometimes you'll just want to give up. Sometimes you won't want what you're confronting and stuff. But it's a book like that. It means that you can always start from where you left. and forgive yourself and just continue the journey. Don't go beating yourself, oh, why aren't I doing it like so and so? No, it's your own journey. You know, maybe your stuff, your trauma is so deep. Maybe all these things are so deep. So it's just giving you yourself time and doing your journey, doing you baby steps until it becomes second nature, until it becomes something you just do. Thanks, Alice. I appreciate you. I don't know whether there's anything we didn't cover that you hope to cover today. Anything else that you wanted to add before we call it a day? Guys, if you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. Tell us you enjoyed it. Tell us what you learned. Come on, give us the moral support to keep going. You know, we use your energy. Energy is short. Energy needs to flow and move. So the moment you tell us, yeah, good job, you know, keep doing that, the more we want to give, the more we want to share. So yeah, and you know what? We like giving our time, we like giving our knowledge, whatever, you know, we like sharing and we learn from each other. It doesn't necessarily mean that we know it and stuff. All these things are journey. 2 years later, you're like, oh, I actually thought it works this way, but it doesn't. It's just like the brain. Not so long ago, people thought, oh, the brain is just fixed. You know, if you're just good at that or you're not good at that. But now you're beginning to know that at whatever age, you can still transform your brain. You can still transform your stuff. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Hit the like buttons and everything so that you know. Alice, I'll leave it to you if there's anything you want to add or say, and the platform is yours there.
The two things. Number one, my book is available. It's a workbook on self-awareness, self-discovery, just guided questions to help you understand yourself better.
Yeah, hold on, Alice. The first person to say, I want the book in full, that's the person who's getting the book from Alice. I got one book to give away. The first person who says, I want the book, Go on. The first person. Okay, go on, Alice.
That was the first part. The second one was something that I'd love for all of us to start doing starting today. Yeah. And every night before we go to bed, let's just take a minute, 60 seconds peke yake, to ask ourselves this one question every single day. What did I learn about myself today? That means when we are going through our day, we are curious. We are curious to learn about ourselves. And it could be something as small as I learned I like color blue. You know, I learned I like flowers. To big things that I learned that, you know what, my values are this and this. I learned that I picked this as a child and I've just been repeating the same patterns. At least when you ask yourself, or when we ask ourselves this question, I can guarantee you, by the way, by 28th of next month, hatutakuwa the same place. We'll have had so many ahas. And if you can even put it down on a journal, you know, if you put it down, what did I learn about myself today? And take those things, write it down. Even better, you know, because you can always come back and say, oh my God, on 28th of April, I learned that, you know what, these are my deal breakers in a relationship. You know, you can always go back and use them as a point of reference and to just help you even better. That's me. Thank you. As usual, these conversations are.
I know you're so passionate. I like that you share your passion. I can feel it from right here. I just can feel it. I can feel that energy and stuff. And you always share wholeheartedly, and that's I love about you. We have a winner here, Daisy Zashal. Diana Zashal. Diana, you just got yourself a book. Send your details. You can either send them to Alice or send them to me, whichever way. Congrats, girl. You won a book. And then we have she still says self-worth, self-value. I have learned. Amazing. Congrats there, and thank you for supporting us and being here. Tell your friends about us. You know, we always come with different topics and learn and teach each other. We bring guests, specialist guests, sometimes just ordinary people just sharing their stories. And we are always free to welcome new topics, anything you'd like to learn about. Our platform is a little bit on the serious side. You don't find us talking much about who is sleeping with who. We feel like we are kind of above that. We feel like we don't have the energy. We feel like there's so much we can do with our time, and we don't really care who's sleeping with who. So on this platform, you might not get the ghosts. and it also brings some negative energy and stuff. So we don't do that here. We don't do competition. Sometimes we are humans. You might feel like you want to compete with somebody, but we come and deal with them and learn how to deal with them and learn how to embrace each other. And that's what you're talking about. There's something like self-discovery. Yeah, so cool. I really appreciate you, Alice. I really appreciate you, everyone, for watching and being here with us. God bless you. Usipotee. I hope to see you again soon. Be a good girl and stay out of trouble.
Thank you so much for the invite.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. We'll call it a night. Good night and God bless you. Nyambeli, good night, Bas. Good night and God bless you, guys. Good night, Alice. Good night.
Nanzaje. Sarah.
Simplex music.
Nico.